My sound's working good. So, I just thought I'd come live and talk about abdicating moral responsibility. Because, let's face it, that's what Christians do. They abdicate their moral responsibility to a book that was written in the Iron Age. And yes, it was written in the Iron Age. It may go back to oral traditions that were founded in the Bronze Age or even earlier, but it was written in the Iron Age, so it's not as old as people think it is. In fact, as far as we know, the book of the law that Josiah's builders found in the temple, as far as we know, somebody just made it up at that point. Because there was nothing before that. Nothing at all before that that would lead us to believe that that particular book of the law had been present in any shape or form. So, for the moment, scholars believe that it was made up exactly at Josiah's time in history. Probably Josiah didn't make it up. He may have. He definitely was quote-unquote crazy enough to do it. He had a lot of bloodlust, going in and basically killing everyone who didn't believe in Yahweh, who didn't worship Yahweh. That's basically what he did. He went around Israel and killed everyone who didn't worship his God. The Israelites were never monotheistic. Probably not even in Josiah's time. They probably just faked it so they wouldn't be killed by Josiah. But they worshipped Baal. They worshipped Asherah. They probably even worshipped the other Canaanite gods. And that makes sense because they were Canaanites. Of course they would worship their old gods. So, anyway, getting back to abdicating a moral responsibility, basically that's what Christians do. They abdicate their moral responsibility to a book that was written in the Iron Age. Yes, I said it again because I think it needs to be said again. You know, I mean, obviously they don't take all their morals from that book. Otherwise, we'd still have slavery. Why don't we still have slavery? The Bible says it's okay, so why don't we still have slavery? Well, duh, guess what? We've become more moral than their God. Also, we don't stone children for disobeying their parents. That's just ludicrous. All children disobey their parents. It's part of growing up. You know? I mean, come on. It's not that hard to figure out. You know, we don't stone people for adultery anymore. I know Steve, this is going to get demonetized if I even say his name, so I'm not going to say his name, but those of you who've been with me for a while know who I'm talking about. Stephen, his last name begins with an A, and no, it's not asshole, but it should be, believes that the government should kill homosexuals. Oh no, I would never kill a homosexual. I think the government should kill homosexuals. But guess what? If he was not going to be imprisoned for killing homosexuals, he would kill homosexuals. Believe me, he would. He is a fanatic. And so is Matt Powell. And so is Kent Hovind. And so is all those other idiots who think they get half their morals from the 21st century and they get the other half of their morals from an Iron Age book. It doesn't make any sense. And why would it? If you want to abdicate your moral responsibility, which, by the way, you don't ever abdicate your moral responsibility, because your moral responsibility is your moral responsibility, whether or not a book tells you it's okay to stone disobedient children, or it's okay to own slaves, or it's okay to kill homosexuals. You don't abdicate your moral responsibility just because a book says you can do these things. You are responsible for you. And I don't care if you follow the Quran. I don't care if you follow the Bible. I don't care if you follow the L. Ron Hubbard books. You are morally responsible for your own actions, and if you abdicate your moral responsibility to a friggin' book, that is not the state's fault, and the state has a right to charge you because, first of all, you did the crime. Second of all, you abdicated your moral responsibility. So, now, obviously the state doesn't have a crime called abdicating your moral responsibility. Because if that was true, we'd probably all be in prison. Everybody's abdicated their moral responsibility at one time or another. But, it's my religion is not a legal defense. And as soon as people realize that it's not a moral defense either, they're going to finally wake up. Probably not everybody. People are blind, either because they have the blinders on, or they want to be blind. A few people come to mind when it comes to they want to be blind. So, it's just, you can help people wake up when they want to be woken up. Before then, not much you can do. Believe me, I've tried, and I've actually bumped my head against a proverbial brick wall on more than one occasion, and it just doesn't work. They don't wake up from religion until they want to wake up. And sometimes that never happens. And yes, that is sad, but not much you can do about it. There are people who are willingly ignorant. You've got people like Kent Hovind. I go back to him because he's the number one example, I think, of willing idiocy, because he has been told time and time and time and time again that what he teaches as quote-unquote evolution is a straw man, and yet he time and time again does not want to make concessions that, yeah, you know what, this isn't the right definition of evolution, and I will correct my path and go on from there. He just doesn't. Neither do any of the other fundamentalists, and that's sad. Because if you listen to them, and I don't really, the only time I listen to them is in something like Cirrus or Vice Rhino. It's the only time I can stand to listen to them. Where, you know, Cirrus or Vice Rhino or another person is making rebuttals to them, because I cannot stand to hear them more than 5 minutes in a row. So, you know, that's just me. And yeah, so do not abdicate your moral responsibility, because no matter what, you are still morally responsible for you. Anyway, and that's all I got to say for today. So I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to hit the like button and press the subscribe button if you like this kind of content. Ring the bell if you would like to be